Most people wait for inspiration to get started. The greats don't need inspiration because their routine is set up in such a way in which they get work done no matter what. You wake up feeling good because the other day you just watched a video on how to set your first routine. Yay, I'm gonna have such a productive day. Okay, I just need to wake up, then go brush my teeth, then go meditate, then work on that business, then do homework, then do cold calling, and oh no, you've done absolutely none of that stuff. You ended up getting caught on your phone and maybe did one or two of those things and for the rest of the day did absolutely nothing. But why did this happen? You set your routine and it looked so good on paper and everything was written down so perfectly and you were gonna go meditate and work on that business. But why didn't you do it? I'll pull up a photo of what my old routine used to look like, and from first glance you're probably thinking this is a super productive routine. And on paper it looks amazing. But you wanna know something? I didn't do this routine a single day. For the longest time I would set myself these long ass laundry list routines to do, and I would end up getting none of that stuff done because I would just be so overwhelmed. Until I learned how to properly set a routine, and now I get more work done than I ever used to imagine I could have done in a day. And I'm going to share with you in this video exactly how to set a proper routine. So I'm going to show you how I personally make my daily routines, and it's by far the best way I've seen on YouTube or online for actually staying focused. There's a lot of these people who make these super crazy, super good routines and they have all this stuff written down on them, but I promise you these people are not doing this stuff. This is an actual routine you can make that you can stick to and get more work done than these people who are writing 50 things to get done in one day for themselves. The first way to have an effective routine is to stop setting yourself 10,000 things to do in a day. I know it's tempting to set yourself a bunch of stuff and wake up, meditate, brush teeth, eat lunch. I promise you if you set these type of routines, you're never going to stick to them. They're way too hard, they're too overwhelming, and days are just too unpredictable to set yourself minute by minute what you're going to do. So don't do this type of routine. In reality, it's not like these routines don't work, but there are just too many things to do in a day that there's no way you can make serious progress in each thing that you're setting to do in a day. I ask you, what do you think would be better? A meter in 1,000 different directions or a mile in one? Less is better when it comes to routines. If you can narrow down your routine to 3 to 4 things in a day, that's when you'll actually start to see yourself making some major ass progress. If you look at my old videos, I would upload like once a month because I was doing so much in a day that I couldn't really make progress on these YouTube videos. So now my current schedule is literally a little ass piece of paper like this with just a few things. Look, this was my schedule yesterday. Alright, meditate slash like take a little nap, school, read. That's literally it. 3 things, bro. 3 things. Opposed to my old schedule as you've seen earlier. And this is what actually makes progress. Today my schedule was literally read, script, film, meditate. That's it. That's all I'm doing today. You might ask yourself, you know, like 3 or 4 things. What am I going to do with the rest of my day once I complete those things? But in reality, if you're really making a lot of progress, if you're really putting in the hard work, if you're really spending the time that you need to spend to make progress, you shouldn't have time to do other stuff. Honestly, a lot of people are going to hear this advice, they're going to make a good routine, but then they're not actually going to stick to it. The hardest part, I'll let you know right now, the hardest part of a routine is starting it. Once you start a routine, don't break your focus. So for me, the one thing I do that puts me into that routine mode, that puts me into that grind mode, that's a little cringy, puts me into the grind set mode, but the thing that puts me into that mode is I go make a tea, then I read like maybe 5-10 pages of a book or journal. That's it. That's all you have to do. Say I were to wake up and I were to set myself the task of filming. Wake up and then film. I'm not going to want to get up out of bed. I'm not going to be like, okay, I want to get up out of bed and go film because, oh, that's going to be so much fun. Like, no. But if I go, okay, I'm going to wake up, have a delicious tea as I read a book, that gets my routine going. And then it's like a snowball effect. Once I drink that tea, it's like, okay, I drank this tea, I'm in the routine mode, let me go crush my first task. Let me go hit my second task. And honestly, that's the easiest way to set a routine and do it, is find something that you can do in the morning that puts you into that workflow. It can literally be anything that relaxes you. Make it relaxing though. Maybe you can do a little bit of exercise, maybe some yoga, maybe you can just completely copy me and just drink a tea and read a book or something. Now, another way to set a routine is, instead of setting 3 to 4 main big tasks, set 3 to 4 goals. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to someone who finds it hard to complete tasks, but if you're someone who can complete tasks pretty easily, setting a general goal might help you figure out what you should do with the day, and then from there you can maybe set some tasks. So instead of setting yourself the task of gym, set yourself the goal of at least doing 1 hour of exercise today. This helps make it a little bit more clear in your mind, and it can help you understand what you gotta do in that day. So instead of just saying gym, you know, okay, get 1 hour of exercise in the day. That might help some people. It might, me personally, I just write down film, script, read, that type of stuff. But, you know, it could help you if you write down, read 10 pages of a book, finish a book today. That could help you, because sometimes it's easier to focus on goals instead of tasks. Alright, finally I'm going to show you guys how to make sure you don't fall back into bad habits, because, you know, it's very easy to set yourself a bunch of stuff to do in a day, but then to not do that stuff. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually hold yourself accountable to do the stuff you're going to write down. So, the way to make sure you don't fall back into old habits and start scrolling on your phone in between tasks is to be very, very specific with what you're going to do with those tasks. Now, this might not make a lot of sense, but for example, say your goal is to read, then script, then film, like my goal was today. If you just say read, script, film, you'll probably end up slacking in between, checking your emails, maybe going on Amazon and buying some Christmas gifts or something like I did today. I'm guilty of that today. But if you don't want to do that, be very specific. So instead of just saying I'm gonna read, then I'm gonna script, say I'm gonna read, then once I close my book, I will immediately put it away and put on my headphones and get straight to scripting, or I will put it away and then I'll go straight to meditating. Instead of just saying I'm gonna read then meditate, adding this little extra bit helps you a lot. If you want to do 10 minutes of exercise after you eat lunch, then instead of just saying I want to do 10 minutes of exercise at lunch, say for example, once I turn off my computer for work, I will immediately get up and do 10 push-ups, instead of just saying, oh yeah, I'll do push-ups sometime. And that helps you make sure you don't end up slacking in between tasks. Because if you write, alright, the moment I write the last line of my script, I will immediately turn on my camera and film. It's way better than just writing down, oh yeah, I'll script and then I'll film sometime after that. If you do that, you'll probably find yourself getting distracted, checking emails and checking your phone or something. So here's the step-by-step guide to setting a routine. Number 1, set 3 to 4 important tasks. It helps if you write this down on a little piece of paper, because then you can't go for infinity. Like if you use one of these little extensions where it's like, oh yeah, set your tasks online, you can set infinite tasks, so that's not very good. Set a piece of paper, because it makes you actually think. When you're writing it on a piece of paper, you actually have to think like, okay, what would be my most important tasks that fit on this little piece of paper? Number 2, have something relaxing that you do in the morning that gets you going in your routine. You can go stretch, you can go drink some tea, you can read a little bit of a book. Just have something that gets you into that workflow. And then finally, be very specific with yourself so that you don't spend time in between tasks doing unimportant tasks. I promise you, if you can set a routine doing this, you're gonna start getting so much more work done, because you're gonna know what work you have to get done in the day, and you're gonna smash it. I know if you're watching these type of videos, you're probably a really productive person, but you just don't know where to put that productivity into. And now that you're setting a routine, you're gonna have something that you can use all that productivity on. Be a doer, not a thinker, and write your routine right now and start smashing those goals. See ya.